Okay, very fine. A chill good morning to all of you. Once again, and will elaborate on the topic of office memorandum, that is the working of the institution. How the decisions are taken. You have to be very much clear cut as with regard to the working of the institutions are concerned. There are various institutions in a country which play a predominant role in lawmaking as well as decision making of the country. The administration of the country depends upon the working of the institutions. Had there been no institutions, no administering paraphernalia would have been there. Had there been no institutions, no any sort of planning, no any sort of programs, no any sorts of lawmaking or coming to a point of decision making could have been adhered. So, for the working of a democratic setup, it is very much necessary that one has to understand the working of the institution. Institutions are the bodies which play a prominent role. Either it is the office of the president, either it is the office of the prime minister, or take for example the parliament which comprises of the president, the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, and take some other bodies like the Council of Ministers, the cabinets, the judicial system, the planning commission, the election commission body, all these are the institutions in a democratic setup. I know time has passed and even the portion has been dealt up by me itself, but still I am going to deal with how major decisions take place. We are going to start with one of the examples, that is office memorandum. By that we can well understand the nature and the functioning of the institution. Which institutions crept up? Which institutions came forward? What was the function which was done by such a type of an institution? We are going to deal with that. For example, the government's order, the example which has been given, on August 13th, 1990, the Government of India issued an order. It was called Office Memorandum. The Government of India, the very word Government of India means it is striking our mind that Government of India over here is a type of an institution. And that institution issued an order, and the name of such order was Office Memorandum. So we have to understand first, what is this Office Memorandum? It was called Office Memorandum. Like all government orders, it also had the numbers such and such, such and such, such and such. Whatever the numbers are written at the side of the letter. It is also known as a memo number. It is also known as a reference number and so on. So the letter which bears such a type of a symbol, having certain digits written, having certain letters written upon that. So same type of a letter was issued by the Government of India at that time on 13th August 1990. What was that peculiarity in that letter? And then the Joint Secretary, an officer in the Department of the Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions signed the order. The order was passed. It was issued by the Government of India. It went to the secretary, the office of the secretary. Secretary of Personal Training and Public Grievances and Pensions, where the Joint Secretary put its signature. And after when the Joint Secretary put its signature, it was quite short, barely one-page order. It looked like any other ordinary circular. The government issues hundreds of orders every day on different matters, but this one was a very important and controversial one. And let's see how that decision took place. How such decisions came forward. The order was passed. The Government of India passed the order. It went to the Office of the Personal and Training and Public Grievances and Pensions, and the Joint Secretary put the initial upon that letter. I know every day or the other, hundreds and hundreds of letters are being ordered, are being passed by the government. Hundreds of letters are passed by the government. But this office memorandum, 13th August 1990, it was such a order which drew the attention of the public at large. It was a controversial order also, because it was not going to satisfy the entire section of the people. What was that letter? We will go with that. This order announced a major policy, 27% reservation of the post of the civil services. For whom? For socially, economically backward classes. This office memorandum talked about 27% of seats for SEBC, socially economic backward class of people, which in a simple language we also talk about OBC. Which in a simple word we also talk about OBC, other backward classes. This office memorandum talked about a reservation of seats for big section of the people, at least 27% of that. For whom? For SEBCs, who are socially, economically backward class of people. In a simple word, we also say it's OBC, other backward class. Prior to this office memorandum, which was there prevalent previously, that was 22.5% of seats. For whom? For SCs and STs. This something new came into the scene. This office memorandum. It was Sir B.P. Mandal upon whom the charge was given. Let me go back, although it's not in your syllabus, but I think it's very much worth to make you understand. In the period of 1975-77, during the time of the emergency at that time in the country, when the country was facing emergency situation. What is this emergency situation? When there was presidential rule in the country, when there was no government in the country. Indira Gandhi's rule right from 1966 till the period of 1975, something like that. At the initial stage of the period of 1975, there was a cold war within the Congress. Congress got divided between the two. Those who were the supporters of Mahatma Gandhi, those who were the supporters of Indira Gandhi within the Congress, कांग्रेस के ही उनके अपने बंदे जो इंदिरा गांधी के सपोर्टर्स थे, दे वर नोन एज कांग्रेस आर, और वैसे लीडर्स जो खुद कांग्रेस के ही थे परंतु वे लोग अपने आइडियोलॉजी में समथिंग दे वर डिफरेंट, दे वर कांग्रेस सिंडिकेट, कमिंग अंडर सेम प्लेटफॉर्म सारे लोग कांग्रेस हैं, लेकिन अंदर ही अंदर दे वर डिवाइडेड, है ना. One was syndicate, another one was R. R was the supporter of Indira Gandhi and syndicate was not the supporter of Indira Gandhi. During that time, something undemocratic type of a decision was taken by Indira Gandhi. When you go to higher classes, you will study this. So that undemocratic nature of Indira Gandhi, that is reducing the freedom of press, press की स्वतंत्रता को छीन ली गई, not bringing any type of a reform in the country, and not obeying the order of the judiciary that happened at that time, during the time of Indira Gandhi. Judiciary gave some of the verdict, लेकिन उस बात का पालन नहीं किया गया इंदिरा गांधी के द्वारा. इमरजेंसी का सिचुएशन अराइज हो गया. There was turmoil in the country at that time. So a great havoc took place. There were demonstrations. Thousands of people came on the street. Procession, rallies. There was internal disturbance in the country. And then once again in 1977, the general election took place after emergency. और इमरजेंसी के बाद 1977 में जब इलेक्शन होता है, इंदिरा गांधी बहुत ही भयानक हार झेलती है. She got a defeat. That was the defeat of the Congress since a long time. And after that, when the Janata Party came, कांग्रेस को हराते हुए किसने अपना सरकार बनाया? That was Janata Party at that time. Janata Party gave a proclamation. Janata Party gave a proclamation at that time, 78, as with regard to this SEBC. And the matter was given to BP Mandal at that time. Mr. BP Mandal gave its report during that time. But since this office memorandum, it was a vital and a controversial issue. So many governments came from 78 till 90. None of the government took it seriously to touch this matter. It's plain and simple. Everybody is bothered about cooking their hatch. अपना कुर्सी बचा के चले. So none of the government thought कि इस controversial matter को मैं मुद्दा बनाऊं. That was the thing. Situation became changed in 1989. Congress party lost the election and Janata Dal came to the power. And Janata Dal had made a promise to the people कि if I am voted to power, I will bring this bill. The bill which was pending since last 20 years, less than 20 years, that was brought out from that cold box. The matter was placed in the parliament. The matter was discussed. And then the decision was taken. And since the decision was taken, so finally what happened? It became a law at that time. So office memorandum, plain and simple, we are talking about it was an order for providing of vacancies and reservation to the people in the civil services at the rate of 27% to them. Clear till this much? I am telling you. So this was office memorandum. The benefit of job reservation was till then available only to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now a new third category was also included, and that was SEBC. Yes. Previously, this type of a system was going on in the country. A reservation of seats were given to the SCs and STs, but now a third category had come up, and that third category was SEBC. Providing of 27% job to the socially, economically backward class of people. This is the true meaning of office memorandum. Now the question arises, sir, after all, how did this law come into existence? It was who? क्या ये सत्य है कि खड़े होकर अनाउंस कर देने से लॉ बन जाता है? नो. In a democratic structure, there is a body where decisions are taken, where laws are made, where any programs are formulated. It is not the weapon of one man, that one man will stand and he will announce and that becomes a law. No. It has to go with several channels for the law to be formulated, for the program to be organized, for the decision to come to an existence. Whoever are the representatives chosen in an election, they go and sit down in the parliament. The parliament comprises of the two bodies, the House of Elders and the House of the People. The general people directly elect the ministers of within who are there in the Lok Sabha, that is the House of the People. They are 550 in strength. And the people, that is the House of the Elderlies, that is the Rajya Sabha, the maximum strength is 250. The tenure of that period is 6 years, but 1/3 of its members retire after every 2 years. They are not directly elected by the people. It is the representative who go and sit down in the parliament. Either it is the opposition or the leaders of the majority party. Whenever, for the sake of the country, for the welfare of the country, the question hour session is there for the first hour of a time in the parliament. For the parliament, questionnaire session is there for the first hour. In that first hour, the question was raised in the parliament regarding the reservation. As was promised by the Janata Dal government at that time. The matter was raised, the matter was discussed, they were in majority, having no other angle, they had to go with that. So anyway, the bill got passed. The bill got passed. When such a type of a bill got passed, then the second chamber is what? It moves on to the Rajya Sabha. Now it is the Rajya Sabha whether to accept it or not. If it is not acceptable by the Rajya Sabha, it can write some of the amendments and give the view to the Lok Sabha, return back to the Lok Sabha. Now it is upon the wish of the Lok Sabha whether to accept the amendments of Rajya Sabha or not. If Lok Sabha wishes to accept, then it's okay. अगर चाहेगा कि नहीं मैं जैसा चाहा था मुझे वैसा ही चाहिए तो उसी स्थिति में अपने बिल को वापस राज्यसभा भेजता है. The moment when the second time the bill approaches to the Rajya Sabha, it will go to the President of India for its initial. Now, President of India, the same process. Depends whether to accept the proposal of Lok Sabha or not, or can give his opinion. It is upon the Lok Sabha whether to accept the opinion or not. And if it is not accepted by the Lok Sabha, it will once again return it back to the President. President at worst, in the second time, can sit over the bill for maximum period of 14 days of a time. And after when the 14 days expires, it is deemed that the bill is passed. Whereas the money bill is concerned, even the President of India do not have any say. He has to pass it. No opinion is regarded at that time. उन्हें pass करना पड़ेगा. No opinion is required. But whereas this type of bills are concerned, he can give the opinion. And if without any change, if once again it goes to the President has to give the initial. If President does not give the initial, maximum the President can sit over that bill for a maximum period of 14 days of a time. And the day when it is the 15th day, it is understood that bill is passed. Same happened. It went to the President. The President put his signature. And after going to the President's signature, it was deemed to be passed. It went to the office of the Joint Secretary of Personal Department and Public Grievances and Pensions. Who is that member? He is a permanent executive. He is an IS officer who assists in the working of the advising of the leaders, the ministers of the department. He only performs his duty. That is, I know you will have completed months of a time in class 9. Class 9. Executive. What's the role? He executes the law. Legislature, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, legislates the law. And finally, after the initial of the president, when the matter went to the secretary, that is the joint secretary of personal and public grievances, he circulated the entire letter to the entire country, to the administrative body of the world, of the country. Sorry. He circulated the entire letter to every provinces, to every states, wherever required for the administration. So, plain and simple, who took a major decision? The answer would be, it's not the executive also. He just obeyed the order. He obeyed the order, he executed the law. The matter was placed in the parliament. The matter was discussed. They approached at a decision, and finally the decision came, and executive just executed the law. After when the matter was executed by the executive department, it brought about, the situation became tensed. The situation became volatile within the sections of the people. For those sections who were benefited, they were happy for that. And those who were not benefited, for them it was a matter of great resentment. It was a matter of great agony. If there are 100 posts for anything, forget this 50. The person has to fight only in this 50. Because 49.5% of the seats are reserved for the SCs and STs and SEBCs. And remaining 50%, a person has to contest in that examination. Either he is coming from the forward class or so on. For that remaining 50 only, he has to contest for that. Just see some of the other things also. If there are some of the better students over here, in SC and ST and SCBC, who have got the scoring इसके बराबर, तो उस व्यक्ति का गिनती जो है इसमें आ जाएगा. He can also take that seat also. If the cutoff number for any job in a general category, मान के चलिए it is 625, and if any boy or a girl from SC and ST secures 625, then he or she will, वहां तो उसके लिए जगह तो है ही, it's no doubt, but he will enter over here because he has got the marks 625. So I was telling that this system that became prevalent, it got passed. There was a resentment within the people. The students came on the streets. World at the nation level, there was absolute agitations going along. Many students were undergoing molestations also. अपने आप को आग लगा रहा था against such order. Many yachikas were also filed. Writs were filed in the Supreme Court and the High Courts. All such yachikas were bundled in one frame. एक ही record में उसको bundle बना लिया गया. Because it's the freedom of the people, they can knock the door of the judiciary if any of the rights are being violated. So people, बहुत सारे लोग approach किया, they went to the judicial body अपनी बातों को रखने के लिए. So what did that judiciary do? Judiciary just brought about one of certain change. What did that change was made by the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court gave the order that within the OBC, within the SCBC, whoever are the creamy layer, Malai Parat, the Hindi word for that. Is SEBC में, within this SEBC, whoever is a Malai Parat or the creamy layer, means well-to-do, Creamy layer means creamy layer. Creamy layer, well to do. Only they will be not getting the benefit of reservation. That was the verdict of the Supreme Court. So this amendment was made. Whoever from the OBC who are the well-to-do, that is they are coming from the creamy layer, so they are not going to get the benefit of the reservation. We see three bodies we came to understand here. Office memorandum, the matter was placed in the parliament comprising of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and the President of India. Again then it moved on to the executive body. The executive executed the law. There was a demonstration within the people. There was dispute. There was conflict within the sentiments of the people. The matter went to the judiciary. Judiciary settled the matter by passing the order. So what do we see over here? Who are the people who are the decision makers over here? And what sort of institutions took place in solving such? The parliament, the executive, the judiciary. These are the institutions we came to see. We came to learn. Institutions like Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, the office of the president, the office of the executive, the office of the judiciary, that is the Supreme Courts and the High Courts. All these are the institutions. So, how major decisions take place? So, the major decision takes place in the discussion when it goes on in the parliament. That is between the members of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and finally getting the approval of the President of India. So, I hope so. We only discussed with a small portion. That is the office memorandum. How such decisions take place, where the decisions are taken place, what happens if there arises any type of a dispute in any type of a decision, which body interferes over there, and whether it is acceptable or not. Yes, it is acceptable, because in a country like India, there is the rule of law. That is, law every time prevails. Nobody is above the law. Everybody has to remain within the ambit of law. So, Supreme Court had to interfere and to solve the dispute. And what that dispute was solved, that only the creamy layer who were there in the OBC, they were not allowed to get the benefit of the reservation. I hope so this is clear and very fine. We'll move on with another portion tomorrow. Have a fine day. Okay then. कहीं कोई दिक्कत बंद फटा दे हाथ